maybe open TikTok on mute. Huh. I just got a notification that told me to open TikTok on mute. Makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't want to open TikTok on mute. I don't know what that means. I guess mute means I couldn't hear. So maybe, and I just downloaded the app and put it back on. So I'm getting a lot of alerts and a lot of explanations on a lot of things I already understand and a lot of things I know how to do. But I think they're just being a preponderance of caution is the way I say it. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Jake. Oh, this is so fun. This is so fun. Swipe left to close. Hey, Kendall. Again, I'm still hang with me today. Be very patient with me today. Hello, Marisolo. Good morning, cool. Be very patient with me. Hello, Kathy Middleton. And again, always risky when you stand up and you adjust yourself wearing PJs. However, experience has shown me that these PJs, my flannel PJs, which have occasionally developed their own personality. They have their own TikTok channel. They have their own show because they're so famous. Don't have a slit in the private area. Thank you. Diane just sent me a rose and got a #1 gifter badge. Thank you so much, Diane. I appreciate that. Good morning, Kendall. Good morning, Urban Farm Girl Inked. Is it cold where I'm at? It is, I wouldn't say it's real cold. It's a rainy day. It's a rainy day right now, and I'm hiding in my sunroom. Good morning, RJ. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Sandy Shepherd, swinging on the porch in West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road. But anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. I think it is September 17th. It's about 8:03 a.m. Happy Sunday. Susan Loves Science is coming from Orlando. I've never been to Disney World. I've only been to Orlando. I may have gone to a work convention there once, and I've also stopped in the airport on the way to somewhere else. But I've never been to Disney World. I'm not super desperate to go to Disney World. It sounds kind of hot, crowded, expensive, long lines. And to be honest, I think the speed pass that allows you to cut in line is the ultimate example of privilege. It's the haves and the have-nots. And the haves, which mean have the money to pay for the speed pass, good morning from Iowa, are clearly superior and don't have to wait in line with the peons. With the peons that have to wait in line. And again, I've never been to Disney World, but I've gone to Great America, which is not too far from where I live in Naperville, Illinois. It's up in Gurnee. And I remember waiting in line with my kids. Too cheap to pay the speed pass, but I like to not think of it as cheap. I was making more of a political statement of what is right and what is wrong. And these people would cut in front of me. My girls were used to it. They were okay. But I would well up with tears going, oh, I'm ready to go on the roller coaster. Girls, when are we going to get to go on the roller coaster? Are these people going to keep cutting in line? I don't approve. Jake asked if I'm watching football today. Jake, I don't have any plans to watch football. There was football on yesterday. I'm assuming it was a Saturday in fall. And I didn't watch a minute of it. And I didn't watch last week, and I'm live again in Naperville, Illinois, a town just outside of Chicago, and I grew up a Bears fan and have always been a Bears fan, but I've just gotten so far away from watching sports over the last few years. But I don't know, might have started with me cutting cable. Maybe it started with me stopping drinking alcohol and smoking pot. Because I find when you, well, A, when you have cable, it's sometimes, when you don't have cable, it's hard to watch sports. But B, if you're not drinking alcohol and smoking pot, it takes some of the fun out of watching sports. It just does. But anyway, for those who've been watching a while, I don't know if you're getting a little too much crotch shot. I've kind of got the setup not perfectly set up, but I talk about it a lot. Perfection is not something we can attain, but it's something we can strive for. And I'm wondering if I need to strive. Okay, well, Everlasting Bloom has thrown their vote that any crotch shot is too much. I felt like I was Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct for a moment. Have you seen Basic Instinct? I wonder how many of you have seen Basic Instinct. If you have seen Basic Instinct, you'll know what I am talking about. Pizza, hot wings, or sushi for Sunday game? Well, I'm not watching the game. However, and honestly, the person I'm going to spend my Sunday with is more of a sushi person. Although not about pizza or hot wings as long as they're boneless. Yeah, she's kind of high maintenance that way. But I would say by far and away I'm a pizza, hot wings, although I don't care too much for wings because they're messy and greasy and kind of slimy. And no matter how much I clean my face afterwards, my skin never feels quite the same. I mean, it eventually feels quite the same, but it doesn't feel the same that day. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, this is not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is much more than that, and I love that effect every morning. Look at that. It's like a cauldron. Look at that. I don't know if we made it extra hot today, but it's a boiling cauldron of steam coming out of there. I'm going to stop pouring there. I think when I do my show, my habit, I tend to drink very quickly. It doesn't matter what, I used to drink beer a lot, or coffee, or water, or honestly, it's not just drinking, it's eating as well. I'd eat a whole box of Oreos, or the other day I set upon some salted caramel chocolates, which are so good. But I knew enough to wait until the bottle, because it came in this big plastic tub, I think we got it at Costco, was nearly empty, because I knew as soon as I had the one, I would set upon them like a dog to a bone. And good morning, Ben. And Oxyum Coffee with Ken kind of day. It is a Ken kind of day. And before I talk too much, because I was getting distracted, I am so excited to have my first sip of this second pot of coffee that we created today. And I got up, I usually wake up at 4:30 or 5, woke up about 5 o'clock, lay in bed, thought about all the things I'm grateful for, and thought about all the things I'm thankful for. And after about 15 minutes of just kind of enjoying the comfort that was my bed, I got up and I snuck downstairs. This is me sneaking downstairs, and poured myself a pot of coffee. Or not poured myself, made myself a pot of hazelnut. But somebody special made me a second pot today. And I have a hunch from the aroma what type of coffee it is. And very excited to have my first sip of the second pot. I hope wherever you are, excuse me, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, yeah. That's what I thought. And for a second, sometimes when it's real hot and maybe it skips the tip of your tongue and it goes right to the back, you can't get all the flavors, and I'm going, wait a minute, panic. I'm on live camera in front of 38 people. I might not know what flavor coffee it is, but it's the pumpkin spice. And just to verify, I'm going back in. So I give you guys the A-OK to go back in to whatever coffee you're drinking. Cheers again. Oh, yeah. It's nice. We got several varieties of coffee right now. We got the cinnamon dolce. We got the Morning Joe. We've got Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut. We got the Starbucks fall blend. That's me falling asleep, drinking the Starbucks fall blend. Not because it doesn't have caffeine, but because I kind of find it a fairly uninteresting flavor of coffee. And we have the pumpkin spice. Oh, the Cinnamon Joe, the Morning Joe is good. I had my first pot of it yesterday. Diane's drinking hazelnut. Sandy Shepherd's all bundled up today in a nice warm blanket. Hey, and Not Original is having their very first pumpkin spice. Hola, Jared. Oh, good morning, Heather. Good morning, relax. Good morning, relax. I'm not that comfortable. I think you guys demand my comfort when I do my show. And right now, I kind of got my neck's kind of tight, and I'm hunched over, and I'm leaning in. I should write a book called Leaning In. I think somebody's already done that, though. So what can I do? What can I do? Ooh, for those that are wondering or worried if I'm hungry, I brought myself a big tub of animal crackers. They're the Kirkland brand, by the way. Ooh, they're organic. That might be part of the problem. They're not as tasty as other animal crackers I know. And I'll tell you what, we've had this tub in the house for a long time. If they were as tasty as animal crackers should be, if they were as tasty as animal crackers should be, they'd be gone by now. Everlasting Bloom said, too bad you don't have a ring light tripod. Hold on here. Hang with me. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. How much reconfiguring do I need to do? I gotta bring my coffee. I can't rest it on this chair. That wouldn't work. This might be a little too much of me. Can you ever really get too much of me? Probably not. Hold on, I'm going to do what I got to do to make this all right. Hang with me right there. You're going to just sit right there. I'm going to slide my very fancy... Oh, are you still there? I don't want to lose too many viewers. That's right, Diane. That is right, Bloom. Hello, Cynthia Lewis. As I've said before, I watch my videos and I repost them on various social media platforms, and so I spend more time watching my videos than others. Oh, that might be okay. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. PJ's slid down a little bit further than I'd like. It was a very dangerous moment in live TV. But now my water's way over there. If I only had somebody that would come and get me my water, life would be better. But I don't, alas. I'm a one-man show. Working on my own. Need to get my water. Yeah, key grip. What's my favorite platform? What do you mean, RJ? Social media platform? My favorite social media platform? That's interesting. I don't know. Well, I'm coming to you live on TikTok. And right now I've been on TikTok for about 2 years. And for me, again, I started doing this show 4.5 years ago. And I do it every Saturday morning. And had my first sip of coffee. And was doing it on Facebook and would build up a nice audience, and used to love Facebook. I used to own the stock. I used to bow down to the altar that was Mark Zuckerberg. I still think the movie Social Network's an awesome, awesome movie. For anyone that hasn't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. Hello, Heather Odell. And it's about the founding of Facebook and the phenomena that it was. And I think it's neat and kind of inspirational in a lot of ways. But at the time, again, I was a believer in all things Facebook and thought Facebook was eventually going to take over the world. But a couple of years ago, I got introduced here on TikTok. And I've also put some time in on other social media platforms and developing my YouTube page. And Right now, I'd say my favorite platform, if we are talking social media platform, is TikTok. But I think the one with the most potential for me long term is probably YouTube. Everlasting Bloom says more hits on TikTok than Google these days. And I've seen that where people, if they want to learn how to screw in a light bulb, they, instead of going to Google and searching that up, you can do it here on TikTok and find out exactly how to screw in a light bulb. And again, that's just an example. I'm sure wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are already well aware how to screw in a light bulb. So anyway, let me have a little more coffee. Everlasting Bloom's doing what was for dinner? RJ, I was ready for that question. I just flipped off my slippers. The nice thing about slippers or socks is you can kind of put them on. They're great ways to regulate your temperature. Kind of like a hat. You hear that like 80% of the heat is lost through your head. So if you're a little chilly, and there's times in life like I won't have a sweatshirt or it'll be raining or kind of damp or cool outside, and go into a Starbucks and I'll feel the air conditioning's just a little higher than I want, and you can wear like a stocking cap or, in my case, slippers or socks to slightly regulate your body temperature and get you a little bit warmer. Well, let's have a little more coffee. RJ asked me what was for dinner, and I was expecting it. As I was going through my morning routine, oh my gosh, I'm really happy. I'll tell you what, the hazelnut was nice, and it was nice to mix it up, but it feels really good to come back to the pumpkin spice. It feels really good to come back to the pumpkin spice. I hear rain dripping down on the sunroof ceiling. It's kind of nice being inside, safe and warm, and cozy on a rainy, kind of dark, kind of cool day. And I had big aspirations. I mean, when I call them big aspirations, they weren't that big. But I wanted to go to the art. I'm in Naperville, Illinois, and every mid-September they have a fine art fair in downtown Naperville. And I was hoping to go yesterday, but we kind of got a rainy day that wasn't super great for the fair. And so I didn't go, and then I was hoping to go again today, but it looks like it's going to be a rainy, wet day. And I always feel bad for the organizers of these events. I feel bad as a consumer or a visitor or somebody that goes to these things when it's not nice weather. But the people that organize it, the work that is put in organizing one of these fine art fairs, the calling of the vendors, the renting of the tents, the police you got to get to for crowd control, I don't even know. Just so much work is done behind the scenes. And when you have a weekend where you're planning something like a fine art fair and you get rain all weekend, it's kind of a bummer. Hello, Abe. We had noodles last night. Oh, I never answered RJ's question. Sometimes I like to tease RJ that way. He'll ask me a lot of questions, and he knows I see him. Sometimes I'll even chuckle at him. Sometimes he throws them out there, just nonsensical ones. But I will reveal what I had for dinner last night. I made some gyros, and I started making just some gyros for me because I was hungry, and I asked everybody in the house, "Oh, does anyone want to eat?" No, we're not hungry. We just ate. No. I'll tell you what. When you and we got the gyro meat and various stuff at Costco, so we had a couple huge bags of it. And although it might not be as tasty as the gyro meat you get at one of these, Greek sandwich, you know what I mean, gyro shops, it's still pretty darn good. And when you throw a bunch of the gyro meat in a skillet and that aroma gets ricocheting, or I guess aroma doesn't really ricochet, it wafts. Does aroma waft? I think aroma wafts throughout the house. And all the formerly not hungry little noses catch the beautiful Greek lamb scents that is gyro meat in a skillet. Suddenly, we get a little hungry and we find a little room, and those people that were going, "Oh, I'm not hungry, no, I don't want any," come a running. So I guess my point is I had gyros last night, and they were delicious. And I chopped up some onions because onions are delicious. And whereas I had them grilled previously with these gyros, I kept them raw. So if you were near me right now, if you were sitting in the sunroom right now with me, you would probably catch a scent, and not necessarily a pleasant scent, of onions wafting out my pores. Will I start dating again? Yes, I will, Brian Sherman. Tara Jacobs, happens every time. Oh, yeah, when you cook up something good, I'll tell you, some scents are better than others. And obviously, we all know the smell of when somebody's cooking bacon in the kitchen. And wow, even if you're not hungry, and I am hungry, by the way, and the only sustenance I have is a huge tub of fairly adequate at best animal crackers. But it's better than nothing. And when you're hungry, and when you're doing a coffee show and your tummy's kind of burning, you need something to keep you going. Oh, do you need something? But anyway, it's Sunday morning. I'm super excited about my day. I have a couple tentative plans. Depending on if my daughter, as you guys that have been watching a while know, I tend to go to church on Sunday mornings at about 10:45. I've been much more consistent when I love it. I have two. God blessed me with 4 kids. I have 2 older children from a first marriage, and they live out in Oswego, and I see them as often as I can. And a couple months ago, my daughter, I think, joined me on, might have been on Father's Day, at the church I go to, and she goes, "Hey, this isn't bad." And she's a lot like her dad, and is always trying to get a little better or search for something or meaning or spirituality or what have you. And she started showing up every Sunday morning. She didn't show up last week. How do you think she showed up the week before? She was off on vacation in Labor Day. And I'm going to sit by my phone wondering if I get a text from Aaron saying, 10:45 today, Dad? And I'd say it's probably 50-50. And might determine whether or not I go to church today. But for those that follow my page, first of all, thank you. You know I'm on a mission. Oh, am I on a mission. And that mission is to do one pull-up in my very first month of working out at the gym. And the first month ends tomorrow. When I started a month ago, you could barely even see, if somebody was watching, you could barely even see any flex in my elbow. That's how weak or heavy I was, depending on which way you want to look at it. And I don't know, is it better to be weak or heavy? Neither is what I'm going for, and that's why I'm at the gym. So slowly but surely over the last 4 weeks, I've gotten about here on a pull-up. To be honest, I thought I'd have more progress by now, and I don't. But I plan to go to the gym today, get my workout in, give my best shot at getting my pull-ups done. And whether I do or not, I'll probably be back tomorrow for one last try. No problem, Julie Flanagan. Thank you so much for coming. Not original. You should have asked if they knew me. I'm well known here in Naperville. I kind of am. I'll be walking around. Hey, you're Coffee with Ken. Why, yes, I am. And Julie Flanagan, it's better. RJ's telling me to keep doing push-ups to gain pull-up strength. RJ, I don't think so. Morning, Shannon. How are you? Oh, you're not even talking to me. You're talking to Kenergy. Let's have a little more coffee. Again, it's the pumpkin spice. IDK joined. Life is too short to do push-ups. It's okay, Shannon. You guys are the sweetest little thing. You guys are the sweetest little thing. I've often wondered if people even like me, or they like me because I bring people together. And I always have. I've talked about it before. I've had one friend who always befriends my ex-girlfriends and hangs out and keeps them alive. I think he's only hanging out with me because the women I've dated in my life have been fairly cool, and he ends up hanging out with them and befriending them. I don't know. Maybe so. I am a true influencer. KG says, I'm so cute. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if I feel that cute yet. I'm wearing PJs. I'm sitting here. I'm comfortable. Sandy Shepard's sending me a heart. And that's a hand heart. My overthinking friend. You are a very nice person, my overthinking friend. Well, thank you, Abe. I appreciate that. Let's drink some coffee because it's cooling off a little bit. And I've got a big old carafe waiting for me of nice hot coffee. And I'm a little torn, by the way, and I've noticed this morning when I was going through the hazelnut coffee pot we had. I found myself struggling because I kept topping off the coffee, if you know what I mean, adding a little hot stuff to the top of the kind of lukewarm stuff, and then taking a sip like this. You want not quite as hot as I want. So I'm going to commit to you right now that I'm going to finish this off. As you've seen, for those who've been watching the last few days, I've been sitting outside. And when I got to about this level of coffee, I would throw it aside and pour some new hot stuff. Being that I'm indoors in a sunroom, I think it would be rather messy to cast off my coffee as if I had not a care in the world. And who knows, maybe I don't. Let's see. Hey, Tara Jacobs sent a night helmet. Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo. I love my night helmet. Thank you, Tara Jacobs. Sandy Shepard says she needs a coffee cup like mine. I appreciate that, Sandy Shepard. I love these cups. And that's the one thing. I've talked about it before. I'm transitioning. I was a realtor for 17 years, and I got a divorce in February, and took a job at a super target because I needed a job. And I'm transitioning from realtor / shelf stocker into full-time content production. And as part of that, you got to figure out ways to monetize what you do and to make money. And it's never been about making money doing these videos. I just had a lot of fun with it. But if I'm really going to do it full-time, I probably have some bills to pay. And we've worked on some things, and we've worked on some affiliate marketing, and we've worked on some merchandise. And on the link in my bio, which I may or may not be able to say, I don't know, you can buy cups that say Coffee with Ken, but they're not these cups. They're not these cups. Are you in a gift battle? Are you in a gift battle? I love the concept of a gift battle. Can I just sit here and cheer? Go, Tara! Go, Tara! Tara's my favorite. Tara's way better than RJ because she just sent me 5 cream cones and some Tic Tacs. Would I sign the back of your shirt? Absolutely. Oh, Everlasting Bloom sent me a rose. That's so sweet. RJ's sending me some hot dogs. I wonder if I could just... No, they're not hot dogs. They're wide-eyed worsty. What is a wide-eyed worsty? I assume it comes from bratwurst. I'm getting chilies. I'm getting donuts. You're going to make me blush. You know what's hard to do and kind of awkward to do, and always is and probably is for anybody, at birthday or Christmas, opening a present you got and in front of a bunch of people and going, hey, a new toaster. Thank you, Aunt Agnes, for the new toaster. I was really hoping for one of these for my birthday. And I'm almost feeling the same feeling when you guys are sending me these gifts. So I appreciate them, though. So thank you. How will you know to sign it? Somebody asked, oh, Tara Jacobs is really rocking and rolling, sending me 2 blues. What's my favorite worsty? I don't even know what a worsty is, RJ. I don't know what a worsty is. You mean a bratwurst? My favorite bratwurst is a bratwurst served with sauerkraut and brown mustard on top. I'll tell you, we grilled out a couple 3 weeks ago, and you guys know I stopped drinking alcohol a couple years ago, and I was in charge of buying the bratwursts at the store, and I looked, and there were some regular ones, and then there was some beer-soaked ones, and I go, huh. And Abe mentioned I'm an overthinker, so I sat there and go, would having a beer-soaked bratwurst violate my 2-year streak of not having any alcohol? And I thought that it might. So I bought the regular bratwursts, brought them back home. When I got home, about an hour later, I saw those bratwursts soaking in beer before they were cooked. And I go, duh. I didn't say anything because I don't like to complain. Nobody likes a complainer. And nobody cooking wants somebody to tell them what they did wrong with their cooking or their preparation of the food. And I have found, as one of 4 siblings with 2 older hungry brothers, the best odds of getting more food is being a good eater and a thankful eater and an appreciative eater. And so anyway, rather than mention to the would-be chef that I had intentionally not bought the beer brats, I just enjoyed the crap out of them and ate several. Yeah, I know it does. I know the booze cooks out. I know it does, but it was on my mind. I won't say it won't. I wasn't. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys all for chiming in. And just to let you know what you think about when you're an overthinker in the grocery store and you're in charge of buying the brats. I boil my brats in zero beer. Austin, do you not drink? It is probably good to be mindful. It's probably good to be mindful. But again, you're going to get alcohol in little bits and pieces and things in life. If you have NyQuil, there's a little alcohol in there. And I don't know. So. Oh, well, good for you, Austin. Kudos to you. Hola, Jose. ¿Qué onda? Great job, Austin. It's coming up on 2 years for me. And I'll tell you, I don't want to get on my high horse, baby. What I want to do is chug some of my coffee. Are you guys going to hang with me while I chug it? I'm hearing back to my drinking days, my fraternity days. Chug, 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 chug. So here I will. But now I get to pour some more. And I'm going to move my Thank you, Austin. Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels good. And I still hang out, and I stopped drinking and smoking pot about 2 years ago. And I still hang out with people that do both. And honestly, I almost feel bad for them a little bit because I know the feeling I used to have. The want to, the wondering when am I going to have my next beer, or when am I going to have my next smoke, or when am I going to do this, or when am I going to satisfy the craving? And it was all consuming. It was all consuming. I don't think I was ever physically addicted to either. But I certainly had the craving and had the want and had the desire, even if I just had a beer or just had a hit of pot, to go do it again. And I remember finding myself wondering, and you'll have conversations with smokers, and you'll all go have a smoke, you'll come back in, and you'll go, did we really get a good hit? No, I don't think we did, and then you go back out. And you spend so much of your time chasing a buzz that doesn't exist, and a feeling that no longer exists, and a feeling, and it just feels so good to not be chasing that feeling anymore, and just kind of enjoy life as it is, and be excited about life, whether my fridge is stocked with beer or what have you, and look forward to my day, and be thankful for my day, and be excited that I get to spend a day with my 2 beautiful babies and some people I love, and not have that want or that desire. Good morning, Kimberly. Cynthia, how long has it been since you've drank? You stopped drinking? Stay alive until 8,600. What does that mean? 8,600 likes? Not original asked if I'm going to church today. Not original. I appreciate you and your consistency and your joining in and your kind of unoriginal name. Way to go, Cynthia Lewis. Would be nice to have a day, though. I don't know what you mean. Hello from South Carolina, Kimberly Rowe. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody new here, please follow my page. I go live every morning at 8 o'clock, and it feels great to be able to say that. For not the longest time, for about 6 months last fall in winter, I was going live every day at 8 o'clock. And again, I started working at a super Target after a divorce. I didn't want to say my second divorce because I was ashamed of saying my second divorce. But then I called it a divorce, as if it's a cup of coffee or a sip of water, as if I get them every day. One of the divorces. But anyway, I took a job at Super Target, and my shift started at 7 o'clock. And I was working like 3 to 5 days a week, depending on the week. And it would really throw off my schedule, and I couldn't have a set time. And as I am transitioning into full-time content creator, I think I want to come up with a cooler name than content creator. I'll work on that, or you guys can help me work on that. And Minnesota Summer says I have a good voice for broadcasting. Thank you so much for saying that. After my online Zoom. Oh, well, that's perfect. Cynthia Lewis does an online Zoom meeting. I struggle with the online meetings, but I think it could probably work in an AA setting, although, I don't know anything really about AA. But it probably could work on that. Maybe just touch and base, see how you're doing. I've talked about it a lot. I see a therapist every once in a while if I'm struggling through stuff. And there's been a lot of things I've struggled with over the last, 53 years or so. And since COVID, a lot of them are offering online meetings and online appointments. I feel better, at least as far as seeing a therapist or a doctor, being in the same room with them and have them getting my vibe or feeling my intensity or lack of, or my enthusiasm or lack of, or feeling my energy in a way that I'm not totally sure that you can do. Hey, Shannon, thank you for joining over a Zoom meeting. Funny Me says, nice PJ pants. Thank you. They are funny. Or they're not funny. They're nice PJ pants. They're warm and flannelly, perfect for this chilly day. Well, we have a nice audience today, and that's so fun for me. Oh, I was just saying, so now that I'm transitioning away from Super Target, sometimes that transition happens a little quicker than we expected. Sometimes it's a slow phase out. And we'll just leave it at that. What state am I in? I thought it was a blanket. No, it does kind of look like a blanket. I'm in Naperville, Illinois. Naperville's not a state. Illinois is. And Naperville, again, is a town of 145,000 people, about 30 miles west of Chicago. Hello, Tintin May. Minnesota summer. Do you live in Minnesota in the summers? I've talked about summers in Minnesota before and some of the struggles you can have in Minnesota during the summer. It's a beautiful state. I'm not afraid of the snow, but I'm afraid of mosquitoes. And there's a whole lot of mosquitoes up in Minnesota, probably anywhere up north. They tend to swarm in places with shorter summer months. Joe Buck says it's football Sunday. Not Original wants me to get one of my babies. Must see them. I hear one screaming. Bears versus Bucks. Assume that's the Buccaneers. When I was a kid, and I never missed a football game almost, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a horrible team. And I think they might have been 0-12 or 0-14 or 0-16, however many games they used to play back then. Oh, I don't talk about it much because I don't watch sports much. But I think I'm fairly aware that the NFL switched to a 17-game schedule. I think that is silly. I think it's weird, and it's a money grab, clearly. And it kind of waters down so many things in my mind. I mean, it obviously waters down records and individual performances, of course. I mean, seriously. I do 20 push-ups. I'm not afraid of 20 push-ups. I know I can do it, But we got 20% of the people say no. I appreciate that. But anyway, with a 17-game schedule, for those math fans out there, 17 is a prime number. A prime number means it's only divisible by itself and the number 1. But what was so neat about 16, I mean, it's divisible all over the place. You know, you're through 4 games, you know you've seen a quarter of the season. 8 games, you're halfway there. I don't know, it just made a lot more sense. Made a lot more sense than 17 to me. Okay, how do I get that off there? Hello, Mike Cepeda. How are you? Ryan, good morning to you. Let me have a little more coffee. Hello from, what flag is that? Somebody came in and posted their flag. I don't know where that flag is from. Hey, Minnesota Summer, I go live at 8 o'clock. I post a lot of videos. I have a lot of friends. I hope you'll pop back in. That was a Norwegian flag? Just me and Crosby wants to know if that's Augie in the background. Could be Augie, could be Eve. Their screams sound very similar. Ryan, I did not watch that Colorado game, so I'm not sure. Not original, go to the gym. Well, if you're feeling lazy, did you go yesterday? It's okay to be lazy and I think it's okay to feel your emotions. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were struggling with some sadness, and they were bummed out about some things. And I said, hey, it's okay to feel sadness and feel laziness and feel anger and feel maybe even jealousy, although that's a painful one, just to feel your emotions. But let them just be emotions that pass and not become who we are. And Not Original said they're feeling lazy today and they might not go to the gym. If you're lazy and if you're feeling lazy and you don't go to the gym, maybe don't fight it. Don't fight it. Because the more you fight your feelings, you fight your sadness, you fight your laziness, you fight your anger, I think the more it keeps it alive. And if Not Original could say, hey, I'm lazy, the weather's kind of crappy, I'm not going to go to the gym today, and just really enjoy it and wallow in their laziness, I think the less odds of them being lazy tomorrow and getting back to the gym tomorrow and not punishing themselves for their easy day to day. And those are some thoughts. I'm going to talk to you about a movie. I've been listening to a lot of John Denver lately. And John Denver brings back memories and just memories of being a kid. I was born in 1968, and John Denver was huge in the late 60s and 70s. And I watched a movie from my childhood last night, or the last couple nights, and I talked about it a little bit before. It's called Oh God. And for anybody out there that hasn't seen the movie Oh God, I would strongly recommend it. It's a nice movie. It's a kind movie. It's a sweet movie. It's a feel-good movie. It's a little bit inspirational. It's got George Burns and Terry Garr and John Denver, of course, playing the starring role. Really, really nice movie. Really feel-good movie. And just kind of a cute, simple story that you can watch with your family or you can watch alone. And really enjoy, because it's kind of sweet, and for me it really touches my heart because I went and saw it on Christmas. I'm almost going to get teary-eyed with my family back in 1977, and I got a chocolate shake with a little cherry in it on the way to Steak and Shake, or not on the way to Steak and Shake, on the way to the movie, or maybe on the way back from the movie. I don't remember. I was only 9 years old. But, really, really good movie. And the person I watched it with said that's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. And I'm glad they enjoyed it. And I'm not saying it should have won a Best Picture or anything like that. And don't get your hopes up so high. But it's just kind of a simple, nice, good movie that gets right into the story. And, again, it'd be a great movie to watch with family and or watch alone. And you'll feel good watching it, and it's just cute. It's just cute. It was just such a simpler time. The name of the movie is Oh God, Joe Buck. Oh God. And again, it starred George Burns. It came out in '77, and yeah, no, it's really nice. Just again, not a huge movie or not the best movie ever, but just a nice, feel good kind of nice movie, cute movie with a couple stars that have passed, and just hearing John Denver talk. I don't know. And again, I've talked about him before. I realize now that nobody's perfect, but most of my life I thought John Denver probably was. And I'm sure he had his struggles and he made some mistakes and did some things wrong in his life. But he seemed like uh, he spread so much goodness through his singing and his voice and his words and his guitar playing that he always will hold a soft spot in my heart. I've got some cantankerous little ones out there. Oh, are they cantankerous? But I see somebody that might be handling it. We'll see. Maybe not. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on, but it looks like chaos out there. And I've been talking for 47 minutes. Not Original's telling me to go help. What Not Original doesn't understand is the person that would need the help, that would most want the help, is walking around the house with funny looking headset on, listening to me go live right now. And just came off and dropped off my little angel. And this is my beautiful girl. Her name is Eve, and she is 11 months old. And I'd say she's the love of my life, but I got a lot of love of my life. And again, I said it before, God blessed me with 4 children, and each of them own a spot in my heart that's just neat. And this little one loves her dada, and I don't know, it's just fun. She's a strong little girl. She's 11 months old. She has a 2.5-year-old brother who wrestles her and beats her and grabs her by the head and throws her back. And we got to keep them apart and keep them not fighting and keep Eve safe. Uh-oh. She's a doer. She's not one that wants to sit around. And I don't know. She wants to go do some stuff. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Do you want this? You think that's funny? You think that's funny? She thinks, oh, she's got a mirror on her. She's a lot like her mama. She never saw a mirror she didn't like. But no, she's beautiful. And she'll be a year on October 15th. And she's a sweet little thing. And she wakes up in a great mood every day. And I got her out of her crib today. And I turned on the lights in the room, and it was bright, and she was shutting her eyes because obviously when you turn on a bright light early, it kind of hurts a little bit, but she was still bouncing up and down in her crib, and super excited to start her day. Let's see if she likes the Kirkland animal crackers anymore. She's got a little nub of a tooth on one thing, but animal crackers are kind of nice. You can kind of mush them up and smush them up and work them down. But anyway, I'm looking forward to my day, and I hope you're looking forward to your day as well. Good morning, Torin, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend, and I hope you had a great week behind, and I hope you're not worried about next week, but excited about it, and looking at the day with some anticipation and some optimism and some hope. And if you don't have anticipation, optimism, and hope, have some faith. I think it's easy, not easy, I think it's easy to rely on faith or hope or spirituality when you're struggling and you're making it through and you're just saying, please, God, help. And I found myself doing that a lot over the last couple of years. But sometimes even when life feels like it's going real well, even when life's going real well, there's times when we start worrying or getting confused or having questions. And I think it's important to remember that prayer or God or faith or the universe or hope is available for you, good times and bad. And last night I found myself waking up in the middle of the night and I don't know, maybe said a little prayer or to help me deal with some worry that I was worrying about, and got back to sleep and woke up. Oh no! What is the trouble, little one? What is the trouble? What is the? Oh, I'll suck on my finger. That's what I would do. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. I want to thank you guys so much for joining today. I so appreciate you. I hope you follow my page. You enjoy my videos. You tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock for our Coffee with Ken in the morning. And thank you, Julie. And well, I don't know. She is a serious, solid chunk. And again, her brother's 2.5. And not too much bigger than her, and he's rough with her. And sometimes we gotta, but she's gonna be a tough little girl. But anyway, looking forward to my day. I hope you are as well. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.